craft brews, and casual conversations. To my right is a young lad playing Minecraft, exploring the world of video games. There are pixelated chickens, pixelated buildings, pixelated zombies, pixelated everything. So simple, yet so sophisticated, some would say, the world of Minecraft. So crazy that they're making a movie about it. Believe it or not. Which is, what's it going to be about? Nobody knows. Because there really is no story or point to Minecraft. It just is. It's just digital form, but not pixelated. The sex god that is Rob is in front of me. He's very attractive. He's rubbing his nose. He might have some allergies going on. No hairs.
You just did that to me. I thought you were telling me this.
I was telling my kid to be quiet.
Oh, okay.
This is what I was doing. Didn't work out well. Anyways,
no, that torpedoed the whole everything. Let's cue it. Should we just cue it? Should we just get into it? Let's cue it.
You're about to hear the greatest show of your life.
dude.
Dudes with brews on a porch with Rob and Drew.
All right, here we are. I am at a point, Rob, where the end of summer has arrived. Things are going to be going back into place, routines, responsibilities, and a paycheck, which is nice. But until I get that, I am busy looking for things in the fridge, and there's not much. So I'm drinking another cider because 'tis the season. We're close to apples picking season. The farms are starting to open to the public. Pumpkins are going to start growing soon. Pies will be served of the pumpkin variety, the apple variety, and it's a good time. So I'm stepping in a little bit early. I'm like Walmart, always setting up for the next season, the season before. Know what I mean when it's October, at the end of October, and they start putting out the Christmas stuff. That's what I'm doing right now. That's who I am, and I am a real bitch for fall.
Sometimes I wonder why we're friends.
Yeah, I know. That's fine. But I'm drinking another delicious Sunken Paddle Ciderworks Heirloom Blend Semi-Dry. So this is a different one than what I have previously had. This is the Heirloom Blend Semi-Dry, like I said. 5.7 on the ABVs. The same mix as its off-dry sibling. This semi-dry Heirloom Blend color, or cider, is just slightly sweeter while still having a lot of its tannic properties. Brewed and created in Oshkosh, Wisconsin. I like cider. Cider's good. I will drink it with or without booze because it tastes delicious. This is a very light cider, very crisp and semi-dry. I don't really... Isn't it weird how they describe a liquid as semi-dry? What's the deal with that?
Right?
I
mean, yeah, I never understood it. That's why I won't touch wines.
It makes no sense. You can't call something that's wet dry.
Yeah. It confuses me and it hurts my head, and I will have nothing to do with it.
Yeah, Sir Isaac Newton is rolling in his grave somewhere. I'm pretty sure he created something with wetness.
Yeah, he definitely created dryness.
Or what? Something. Yes. Anyways.
Yeah. I don't think he was a ladies' man.
Probably not. He's probably like, he goes, what do you think that foreplay is like? He's like, all right, so the reason this is happening is because, I'm excited and things are happening and places are going. Yeah. I can't be too descriptive because,
There's a child in the next, yes.
Yeah.
I wish I could have showed you the head on this beer that I'm drinking before it all dissipated, because it looked like, you ever see cheap meringue fluff?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it almost looked like that. Like, because I was trying to pour the beer. Most people want to pour that beer at a 45 degree and keep the head low.
Yeah.
But if you talk to connoisseurs of the craft brew industry,
mm-hmm.
you want to pour it straight and let that let the flavor unlock through that. I don't know, nitrogization. It's not a word. Let's just go with it.
Mm-hmm.
The bubbling effect that causes the head, and then you let it dissipate, and then you top it off a little bit more, and that gives you all your nodes come to the top. So I was trying to be fancy, and I went to jumped into the deep end a little bit too quick, you know.
That's all
and
right.
I had foam on that mother that was, it was half beer, half foam after the settling. I don't think it's supposed to be like that.
I don't know.
I'm drinking the. Do you have more to say about your hydrated piss looking water?
It's cider. Watch your mouth. It's good. It has a nice, refreshed crispness. It's got that delicious apple taste to it. It's good stuff. It's refreshing, Rob.
I should try the cider game. I put ciders in the seltzer category, and I hate seltzers, and it's not.
They're
not the
very different. Very different.
Yes.
But anyways, go ahead and.
That's my mid-year's resolution is to try some more ciders.
Yeah, we're on like the last quarter here, but go ahead.
Yeah, but I'm a procrastinator, so
Fair enough.
Yes. So I'm drinking the Cactus Eaters from Brewery West, which our good friend Carl used to work there. I actually messaged him to see if he could give me some insight into this beer, only to find out that I wasn't paying enough attention during that episode, and he does not work there anymore. He used to work there.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
Yes. He works for Harlan.
You have the info over there. The can is very independent. Let's say that. These are actual stickers stuck onto an aluminum can.
Yeah.
The condensation is making them peel off.
It doesn't really have a lot of information on it outside that it's an IPA, 6.5 ABV, 0 on the IBUs. It is it's an IPA from Brewery West. That's it.
I have it's got apricot. You have anything about that?
It says nothing about. I got no details. It's hoppy,
Here's
clean.
what I got from San Pedro, California. Cactus Eaters is our 6.8% ABV West Coast IPA, brewed to celebrate the Pacific Crest Trail, hiking, and great summer trips. This beer features Allura, HS16660, and Mosaic hops. It's super bright and clear with notes of peach, apricot, and lemon zest. That's what I got. So, I can smell the apricot. Apricot? Apricot. Let's go apricot. The peach comes through more on the flavor. The apricot comes more on the smell. Lemon zest I'm not really getting, but I mean, it's got a little bit of a bitterness throughout, but it does have this is a weird fruit lineup for me. I'm not reaching for apricots, whatever they're called. I'm not reaching for peaches and not lemons. So this bitterness might just be the fact that it's not my forte for fruits, but it is a good beer. It's got a sweetness to it that's if you like sweeter beers, but also that have a little bitterness to them. It's pretty good up front.
Good. I'm glad. Delicious. So I had this thought earlier, and I know you want to talk about something else in a little bit, but my kid, like I said, is playing Minecraft right now. And as of late, especially this week, we've kind of been battling for the system. I started playing The Last of Us Part 1. I'm trying to knock it out, trying to get it done before I have to dive into everything else that's going on. I'm on a little bit of a break here. And then he's trying to play a Five Nights at Freddy's game, a Lego Star Wars game, and Minecraft. Same system, so we're kind of battling it out for a bit. And I thought to myself, this is like the first time in history that this has ever happened. Nobody, like my parents never fought me for the system. Sometimes they would play along, like they would play Mario and enjoy it and everything, but I never had to, you know what I mean? Where we have two like-minded people who are like, we're the gamers. We're playing games. We're going in with a mission. We're trying to accomplish these things, defeat the world and save humanity, if you will, or in this case, a young Ellie in The Last of Us. And I just thought that was weird. Like, you know what I mean? Like, it's just how the shift in parenting almost. Like, video games have always been a child's play, but not anymore.
I will say I have 1 second. Let me look at this.
Oh, look at this. He gets up again. This is the second time in a row, I think, where he just gets up and walks away. It's very rude.
I had to let the dog into the living room because
that's
Shonda's in there.
Fair enough.
She was about to start barking, and nobody wants that high-pitched noise coming through their earbuds, whatever they're called. Anyway, I do know, like, when I was a kid, now I didn't grow up in my dad's house, but when we went there, he had the regular Nintendo.
Yep.
And he had it, he had the games, the Contra, what was it called? The racing game, Rad Racer.
Mm-hmm.
And I do recall at times, where it was like, hey, we're playing for lives here, right? But I'm a kid. I die more than my older brother, and definitely more than my dad. So he would, when he would get his life, he's getting the super spreading weapons and just rolling. And I'm, sitting there going like, all right, dude, you're an adult. Like, of course you're good at this game. It's for children. And then I would get, I'd finally get my turn, and then it's like I die right away, and it's like, well, all right, hand over the controller. Not cool.
Yeah.
But yeah, we are the first generation, I think, that has to deal with battling our parents it's like we had inklings of it. Like I said, that was a rarity because I didn't stay there. I do have video footage of my grandma playing Mario.
Oh yeah,
which was pretty fun to see, actually.
Yeah.
on the square controller.
Yeah.
In terms of actually like ingrained in a game that's like you need to finish it. It's not a one-off, level by level, whatever. It's like these games today, they literally can take over your life in terms of how in-depth the writing is to them, and in terms of how immersive they are. So yeah, I think the kids and parents these days, like, they're coming to a head. It's like we're also going to be the first, yours, like, well, this is probably not the great. My niece, she will grow up with a grandfather who goes and plays Ted Nugent and and Metallica on stage,
right,
60 plus,
right,
torn pants, and that's just a reality for I think we stopped growing up as humans in our parents' generation.
Yeah.
Less so even in our generation, and it'll be less so still with our kids' generation.
Yeah, it'll be interesting. It's I just thought it was just like, this is an interesting fact or a thing. And yeah, like my dad would sometimes pick up the controller when we were playing Sonic. He'd like, all right, let me have a shot at this, and he would die right away because when they grew up, it's arcade stuff, but I don't know that. Yeah. And the Atari came out.
Pool halls and
right.
Which I will say, another thing that they never did probably was have a case of Spotted Cow on top of a case of diapers in their background.
The case of Spotted Cow was empty, and it's holding the diapers. Rob, get it right.
I'm just saying, both things had to be,
If anything, I'm saving the environment by using a box.
Right, transferring diapers from one big box into a smaller beer box.
Yes.
Yeah. Okay.
These were given to me by somebody because their child no longer fits in that size diaper. So they gave it to me. All right.
Yeah. Good. We got that cleared up. I was happy. I was commending you.
Yeah. Yeah. I'm just being resourceful, but yeah, it was just I just thought it was interesting that along with
the other interesting thing is he's playing Minecraft now, which is a game that you would not think could be made into a movie, but is.
Yep.
And he's also was playing Five Nights at Freddy's, a game that I also would argue not an easy game to turn into a movie, in terms of like when you actually play the game, you're just like controlling cameras and stuff. As far as I don't know. I've only watched videos on Twitch, but I remember when they said Five Nights at Freddy's was going to be a video or be a movie, and I was like, well, that's who are you rooting for? I guess But I started watching the trailer. It didn't look terrible.
Yeah, I fell asleep during it, but it's just a weird time. On top of being more present in their life, I'm battling them for the PlayStation 5.
Well, you own it, so I mean, you always have that.
I own it, but I'm not. I lose the battles more often than not. But
good dad. You got a whole bookshelf. Tell him to go play with that.
I know. Well, he's got like a Nintendo Switch too, but he's just. I downloaded the Five Nights at Freddy I got for free with the PlayStation Plus subscription, and it's like I was like, oh, this is actually like a decent game and a fun game. And him and I like when it gets too scary, he lets me play it.
I do not get too scared. I just don't know what to do.
When he doesn't know what to do, he lets me play it.
Oh, because he doesn't get scared.
Correct. Yeah. I misspoke. I'm sorry.
Yeah. You sure did.
So, yeah. Observation number 1. What do you got?
Well, I didn't have anything, and then I was thinking about looking some stuff up, but I didn't have time. So I thought maybe we could just talk about some of the absurd, about instant news feeds, Facebook news feeds, and just your general phone news feed. I could probably find something on my news feed right now, and it's interesting to me because I remember the other day I saw, I keep seeing this kind of stuff. Liquid water on Mars, NASA says, but there's a catch. That's the headline. Scientists just found oceans of liquid water on Mars, but there's a catch. Well, we've been looking at Mars for a while,
Mm-hmm.
and now we found oceans of water, but there's a catch to it. And then when I click on this, it'll be like they're dry actually, and it'll be, what is this news thing that we're like? What are we willing to believe based on? Because now I will see stuff. There was something I saw the other day about some moon of some planet, some billion miles away, has evidence of a metropolis, electric lights. Now, was this on CNN? No. Do I trust CNN? No. But I definitely don't trust this phone in my hand. So I just thought it'd be interesting to talk about, the stuff that comes through, and it's like, do you believe it? Do you want to believe it? Do you just believe it if you want to believe it, and you don't believe it if you don't want to believe it? What is our current state of news cycle?
I think a lot of people out there, one, I don't know that a lot of people watch the news anymore. I don't think so. I don't. Any news source I get, you're right. It is from Facebook. It's from Twitter. It's from Instagram. Those are my news sources. NPR, I follow. But I mean, I don't even know what's right, what's correct in NPR or what's not correct in NPR, because they've done stories that seem to be valid, and later it's like, oh, maybe they weren't, and then so it's just a mess. But so I think that's part of the problem, because I think if you watch like local news, for me it'd be watching like some Green Bay news, some Milwaukee news. That's the stuff that you're going to get more, I think, accurate information.
Like your local stuff.
Yeah, you're not going to get this shock value type of stuff on those stations. Even if you listen to the local radio station, most of the time you're getting like actual news stories that pertain to you, in that some local person committed a crime, or something's going on in your area, a crash happened, this and that, and there'll be some state and national news on that as well. But it's not like all these opinion-based, biased stories. It's presenting the facts. This is what happened, and take it as you will. Take this information. So I think those are good news sources. But yes, the stuff on the internet, it's like anybody can say anything about anything. Example.
And apparently anybody will also publish it.
Right. Exactly.
So it's, I've gotten to a point now where it's like, I'm definitely like just throwing out real news stories going, no, I don't think so, because it's right next to this other news story that's about how beets actually cause cancer, and it was a big propaganda ploy to tell us that they were good for us.
I'll bring it back to what we talked about last week in the historic Hulk Hogan. Okay, I didn't meet him. A lot of people did. There was some drama attached to this Hulk Hogan appearance on the string of Walmarts in the state of Wisconsin. He went from Walmart to Walmart to Walmart. And initially it's on. Everybody's excited about it. abruptly gets canceled. And I was like, oh, what's going on there or whatever. And then somebody that's formerly used to work at this Walmart said too many extreme lefties complained, and they canceled the event as a result. After that was posted, the event's back on. The event is back on. I found out, no, there was travel issues at first. It was something, weather somewhere along the lines deterred the plane. They were working on trying to figure out how to get them there, whatever. It didn't look like it was going to happen, and he wouldn't arrive on time, so they canceled it. Travel issues.
See, I heard he ran out of shirts.
No, yeah, that's what it was. But then obviously,
taking them off.
Yeah, but then obviously they were able to figure it out, and it was back on. So,
but somebody preemptively was like, "Oh no, it was a political issue about these lefties."
And they didn't present it as like this is how I'm assuming it happened. You know, they
put it out there as fact.
They presented it as fact, and it had nothing to do with politics. In fact, people were happy about it because we live in this rinky-dink town, and Hulk Hogan's gonna be there. Oh, I'm gonna go meet this legendary wrestler in his own regard. Of course, he's been the face of wrestling to a lot of people. But I don't care about his political opinions. I don't know. He's gonna rip his shirt and call me brother. Like, that's exciting. Yeah,
that's all he needs to be there for.
That's all he is. Like, he doesn't know where.
I don't need to hear what he wants to do with foreign policy.
Right. Hulk Hogan doesn't know where
I want to hear what he's going to do to the Undertaker this Friday night.
Yeah, Hulk Hogan doesn't know where Hulk Hogan ends and Terry begins. You know, he's taken the role of don't break kayfabe to an extreme. Like, he is turned into it.
This is one of the crazy, like, all right, people want to talk about the flat earthers, right? They want to talk about the moon deniers. Hey, I've changed my tune on that, but
on the moon. What do you mean?
I'm always jumping over that fence back and forth. I don't know where I sit on the fence there.
As far as what?
That's not what I want to talk about. No. Because I don't want to put out misinformation. My opinion on the matter is I do believe that we went to the moon, but the footage was faked.
Okay.
But there's people out there that deny the moon landing completely. There's people out there, whatever.
I thought you were saying the moon was fake.
No, this is the moon itself is fake. There is a theory about that. It's called the hollow moon theory, and it's about how the moon is actually a metal sphere that was put there by aliens. Because when we landed on it, every time we land on it, it makes a bell sound as if it was a hollow metal orb. There's evidence to support it, but let's not. I'm not saying one way or the other.
That's for October when we get into the strange brew stuff.
Strange brew month. But this is a new one for me that I heard last night. I was talking to somebody, and I mentioned how I was talking about the bike path over here and how it gets annoying how sometimes, like, I try not to judge people or whatever, but there's, you're on a bike path. There's lanes. Yeah. One lane is to go one way and one lane is to go the other way. It's like a road. And people sit they go in the wrong lane and they just don't move, and it's like, you can be in the wrong lane all you want as long as there's no oncoming traffic, but I have the right of way in this lane. But then I was like saying this to somebody, and I was like, but then I remember that a lot of people come from overseas where the lanes are actually swapped. Mm-hmm. It's backwards, or we're backwards from them, however you want to look at it. And this person made a face and a gesture where it stopped me, and I said, and I kind of like gave him the look like, all right, please, what about what I just said was outrageous to you? He's like, well, that's not. They're not backwards. They're the same as us. And I was like, I've seen video. In my French class yes, they're like and he's like, well, yeah, in Great Britain is the only place where they go this way they go the opposite way on the other side of the road. Like, it's swapped. Mm-hmm. Like, I'm pretty sure that's throughout the metric system, But it made me challenge my belief on what I think the road systems are overseas. I thought Europe and China were all based on swordplay medieval horseback riding, so you wanted to be opposite of what, like right now, your left side is what crosses in the middle lane. You know, your left arm sits over the center dividing line. We did that to be opposite of Britain, but back when road systems were created, they were created for horseback riders and people who were fighting with swords. So your right hand would be over the center line because that's what everybody was right-handed. So you're fighting with a sword with your right hand. So you need right to right, as opposed to left shoulder to left shoulder. But the United States, when we abdicated or whatever we did, wanted to be different from Great Britain. So we went to the standard system. We went opposite road system. Is that true? I don't know anymore. I don't fucking know anything anymore. This guy uprooted my entire idea because once again, I used to say, I don't even know if Africa's over there. I've never been there. I've never seen it from above. I mean, they can fake everything on TV, right? You know. So when this guy did this to me, he really like fucked up my mentality because I'm going. You know what? I've never been to Europe. I've never been to. Maybe I've been lied to my whole life about their car system. Why would we do that? I don't know. Just to create divisiveness, but I could see that.
Maybe. Yeah, it's I don't know anymore. And like people, the funniest thing that I see too is when somebody recently on my feed made the bold statement of everybody needs to boycott Harley and burn their bikes because of something that happened. And then people are like, why? And their response was, do your own research. And I was like, well, you just made this bold statement. Like, at least, like, provide the people with a reasoning. Like, if I just go up to somebody and...
Do your own research, but also do exactly what I told you without, like...
Right. Yeah, I don't know. I didn't look into it because, like, that would be a waste of time. I don't ride motorcycles.
I heard it tickles 17-year-old buttholes. That's what Harleys do.
Yeah, all right.
Because you're 17 and you buy a bike and they vibrate. Come on. Get your head out of the gutter.
I get it. But yeah, you're right. I don't question.
We should get rid of them for the noise, honestly. No one needs to be that noisy.
I don't often question the news because I just assume everything is just like it is pointed in one way or another. I trust the local news stories, and that's about it. All I can say is like I know for a fact that this guy got his 8th OWI in some small town in Wisconsin. I know that's true.
Stuff yeah, you're right about that. But it's like, I mean, I'm getting more and more stuff where it's just like, like Skinwalker news. Check out this Skinwalker.
Yeah.
And it's like, well, video editing now, all you have to do is put into AI like realistic looking Skinwalker video.
I have seen a lot of Bigfoot videos lately. There was one in there was like a baby Bigfoot spotting out there, and I saw the video. There was like the swarm of deer, and there's like a picture, and it's a very vivid picture of a little baby Bigfoot. And the experts say, yeah, probably a small person in a suit, which is kind of a bummer. And then there was another guy who was on a 4-wheeler going through like some water and stuff like that, and then you see in the distance like a pretty tall ape-looking figure, and the guy's like, "What's that? What's that? What's that?" And then it's gone. So
Well, that's I just saw on here because I was scrolling through my news feed before just to and now I won't be able to find it because I started talking about it, but it's like it's like they're just presenting an opinion. Which, speaking of opinion, one of the news stories that comes across my feed all the time because X-Files is I'm always getting X-Files stuff, right? Some of it's news, some of it's whatever. But the top 10 David Duchovny quotes or Fox Mulder quotes, I clicked on that bad boy. I'll tell you what, not one of those was correct. Not one.
Ma'am?
They were terrible quotes, what they quoted. He's got quotes. Those weren't the quotes. So shame on whoever did that. So here it is. A scientist says humans will reach the singularity within 21 years. That's the headline.
What does that mean?
Now, a scientist does not mean jack squat anymore because we can't trust. There were doctors telling us that COVID wasn't real. Mm-hmm. There were politicians that tell there are people who are supposed to be reliable sources in their fields, specialty fields, and scientists is. You could study how to make less hair on the feet of a dog, and be called a scientist. And you're out there going, yeah, but we're going to reach the singularity in 21 years. This scientist says, what's he assigned? He works for Rogaine, for dogs. Yep. There's no context in that statement. A scientist says. A study says, at least there's a study behind it. But the fact that they can put that out there and that's the headline and people go, well, it was a scientist that said it. Yeah. I guess I should cash in my 401k because it's 21 years. I'm not retiring then. I might as well live now, which everybody should do that actually, because
cash in the 401k.
Yeah. Just cash it in and do what you want to do with your life.
Yeah. You got to pay a big tax penalty for that.
Not if you just don't.
If you're cashing out your 401k, it automatically happens.
You just don't do it.
All right.
I don't. Yeah, that's the thing. I'm putting. Who are people gonna listen to right now? You or me?
You're suggesting.
That's how easy it is.
You're suggesting tax evasion. I'm saying don't go that route. Because then the next 21 years you'll be sitting in prison, and when the singularity hits, I don't even know what that means. Yeah, you won't see it. What does that mean?
I think it's the merging of all humanity in the form of a computer. I don't know. We should look into that someday.
So we'll all finally unite and drink on the porch, the world porch, the united porch. So it's going to take 21 years?
The big thing is when the singularity happens, make sure that your digital self shoots over to TeePublic, our virtual store. Try on some gear because we got the Porch Pine Society gear already ready.
Now available with hats.
Yeah, and the hats are sick.
Yeah, they are pretty sweet. They're very nice. Yeah, well, that's good. That's good.
Yeah, I think once the singularity hits, we'll get a lot more foot traffic.
Hopefully. It'll be faster to it's gonna happen. Whether it's in the physical form or the digital form, we're gonna unite the world, gosh darn it. And that is what we are going to do. Rob, you live in Burbank, California, right? Not too far away from Hollywood, not too far from the area in which people create movies, people write, people tell jokes, people sing, people dance, people beg for change on the corners. No matter the art form, it's available. What?
That one I've seen.
Yeah.
Begging.
No matter the art form, it's seen. It has been seen where you live. I have a question because I've seen a lot Hall H from Marvel. That just happened at Comic-Con, right? Big news. Robert Downey Jr. back in the Marvel Universe as Dr. Doom. Which
how are they? What? How?
There's a storyline.
Tony Stark become Dr. Doom?
Kind of.
There's a clone of Tony Stark that has an alternate reality timeline. And he jumped through Doctor Strange's fucking super vortex with Spider-Man.
I don't think you're too far off. Yes, that was announced. D23, the big Disney event just occurred, in which if you couldn't have attended it, you could have hopped on your Fortnite account and watched it via your Fortnite character unfold. On that, they announced the release of, they're going to be making Incredibles 3. They're making, gave some details on Toy Story 5. And they announced there's going to be a Snow White live action movie. There's going to be a Lilo and Stitch.
Lilo and Stitch live action. I saw that.
There's going to be a Moana live action movie. And my question to you is, Rob, is live action the death of cinema? when I say live action, a live action remake of an animated movie is at the death of cinema.
I don't know, and that's only because if it was 3 weeks ago, I might have said yes.
But then that guy shifted your perspective about how we drive, and now you're like, well,
yeah, it's now I don't know what to think about anything. But in reality, what it is I saw a funny Instagram mashup of some clips from the 2017 or 2011 Ewan McGregor, Christopher Robin live action Winnie the Pooh movie, which I chat on without seeing when it came out back in the day.
Dude, I tell you that just real quick, that trailer like fucked me up because I like during that time I was going through a rough time in my life, as you know, and when he's just like he said something along of like I'm like Pooh, I'm broken, or he was like you're not broken, you're just cracked. I was like yes.
I'm telling you, yeah. It like I saw this thing and I keep on saying I want to watch this movie so bad. Like it hit something in me that it didn't hit when 10 years ago or whenever it came out. Like,
yeah.
And I want to watch it. And if I had watched it and it was shit, then I would be right on your side right now saying, yep, it's the death of this live action. Because it's like I wasn't a big fan of live action Lion King. Leave the Lion King alone.
It's not even live action. It's computer animated still. You can't just get you can't round out real
lions don't talk, you know?
Right. That's what I was getting to. I was just gonna, you know.
They also don't hang out with baboons, as far as I know.
Right.
But you know what? I've never been to Africa.
Yeah, if that continent exists, how do we know Canada's real?
Yeah, if it even exists, that's. I mean, in reality, until I came out here, I don't even know if I flew west. Do you think I had a compass when I got on the plane to come out here? I didn't.
You could be in Arkansas.
I could be in Antarctica right now, and we could have been lied to about it being cold down here.
Yeah. But anyways.
So yeah, I mean, at this point, I'll have to do some market research, watch the Winnie the Pooh live action movie, and I'll get back to you with my opinion on that. Because as far as this trailer or this video, I've watched it so much that there's people in my life that get very mad. They don't get very mad. They're sick of it. They're just sick of it because it tickles me in a way that to them it maybe was like funny the first 2 times, or it hit them the first time or the second time, but by the 50th time that you like pull it up and you start tearing up like watching it because it's something so funny for you. Like,
is it that
like,
moment?
What is wrong with you? What is wrong with you?
Is it the you're not broken, you're cracked? Is that the?
No, this is literally just an Instagram like mashup. You know, it's not even a real trailer. It's just a bunch of Poohisms throughout the
Poohisms. Yeah, that's but like I saw the Snow White and the Seven Dwarf thing, and I was just like, you gotta be kidding me.
I saw something about Calvin and Hobbes. Now, if they did that would probably break me a little bit in a good way. Like I think that like the fact that there's not really a Calvin and Hobbes movie is interesting to me because that's a philosophical like innocence. That's about a kid who's like so far mentally beyond everybody else in the comic strip, and he's just being beaten down by his parents, by his teachers, but he won't. His mind is so pure and innocent, and it's like that should be a movie, and whether it's live action or not doesn't really matter. It could be a great live action movie because you jump back and forth between Hobbes being just a stuffed animal, and then being Hobbes, the
character.
I don't want to say sidekick, but the secondary star of the show.
Right.
So I have to assume that it has to do with the creator not wanting his strip to be fucked up by somebody who writes it badly. Because if you write, you could easily just go like, oh, it's just a brand, let's just write. It's like, no, you need to get to the heart of the fact that this is Calvin is not misunderstood in his own mind. He's misunderstood by people who have grown up, and he's much more intelligent than them because he doesn't sit inside. He's a maverick, you know. It's
I'm for those movies, and even the Winnie the Pooh one, yeah, Christopher Robin, because it's a live action movie, but it's not a verbatim remake of a movie that everybody knows.
Yeah.
Like, because like it's a new idea, it's a new approach, it's a new script. Whereas with I haven't seen the live action Lion King. I'm sure there's some improvised lines that are a little bit different, but overall the premise is the same, the lines are the same, most of the songs are going to be the same, and then the end result is the same. You know how the movie's going to end. You've seen it 100 times, and like, so it's like, why do I need to watch a live version?
With a spinoff for Simone and Noma.
It's like, so why do I need to watch a live edition of Snow White? Snow White is one of the most annoying characters in cinematic history. She's so annoying. I
am with you on that.
I just can't stand. I can't stand the movie's stupid.
She's the Seven Dwarfs, right?
I like the Seven Dwarfs. They're great. They're just a bunch of hardworking people saying hi ho, going to work, and then like living life. They're
being
just
led astray by a woman. That's the world in a nutshell. Yep, cancel me.
But like,
that's the Aladdin. Did you watch Aladdin? The Aladdin live action?
You went to the theater with me.
Oh, that was with you? I watched that.
Yeah.
I just remember liking it.
You didn't like it.
No, did you like it?
Hell no, it was awful.
Yeah, I was up in arms about these new songs that they threw in there. You want to believe Will Smith is going to be a good genie, but this is another thing. Why mess with something so good?
You can never live up to Robin Williams. Come on.
It was just you're.
But we didn't need it.
But they changed that movie. It's like the movie's called Aladdin. It's not called strong princess female role character.
I'm pretty sure you said that same, like we've talked about this before, and you said the same thing.
No, my thoughts have not changed on this.
I watched it the one time.
Give guys just. I know we have a lot of movies in the past. Don't make new movies. Make Brave. Make Mona or whatever it's called. Make Lilo. Make these female character oriented movies. That's fine.
Moana.
Yeah.
They're making a live action of that.
Yeah, I don't need you to I don't need you to take away. Aladdin he's the main character. It's in the title.
Right.
It's in the title.
Yeah. Well, like my argument with Moana, it's not that old of a movie, and The Rock, who played Maui, is playing Maui in the live action movie. It's like he's getting paid twice for the same thing.
He's legitimate. Yeah, is there a double jeopardy clause in there where they don't have to pay him?
Maybe. It's like
ticket price is cheaper.
They're like they don't even need to give him a new script. He can just dig up the old one and do it. I don't know. I'm just like, come on. There's got to be some different ideas out there that we can. There's plenty of Pixar movies that are coming out that look great and that look original. And it's like creativity is not dead. Is what I'm saying. We're like we gotta shift this and say like be creative again. Like you can make some great things. You don't have to recycle the same shit over and over. And I hate it.
Looking through some movies on the Netflix there and there's some, not even the Netflix, on the old the I don't know what app Shonda has, but she gets all the stuff that's in the theaters, the stuff that nobody's ever heard of. It's all on there.
Sounds illegal.
And there's some stuff that's come out that's newer stuff where it's like, based on the descriptions, it looks like they're good movies where it's just like, oh, this is a character piece where it's like it's not going to be action, it's not going to be moving, it's going to be dialogue driven. But interesting. And so we are moving back in a direction, I think, where people are trying to do that a little bit more.
Yeah. I hope so.
But, I'm out here for the money. So I started and I was writing this idea about a dog who's trapped and he's like a punk dog that he's really going against the guy, his owner, right? But his owner goes to a shitty job 8 hours a day. And he rails against the man. So the dog and the human are the same, but they're just at different levels. It's nuanced. It's a little nuanced, but I think I'm going to do it live action. I think try and get I think
Who's gonna voice the dog?
like Kevin Hart to do the voice of the dog.
Kevin Hart. Yeah.
Yeah.
You might as well make The Rock the man character.
Yeah, and then and I think they both play under the thumb really well. So like,
yeah.
If I can get Paul Giamatti to be the boss.
You probably could get him. I don't think he's that busy. But yeah, it's I don't know. I want to see the new Deadpool movie. It looks really good. Haven't seen it yet. And that's another thing.
Wolverine?
Yeah, Deadpool and Wolverine. There's like 800 spoilers that have been dropped on me already, and I wasn't even looking for them. And that's the thing, okay?
Yeah, I mean, did you hear that they actually end up being the same person? Schizophrenic?
No. I didn't, but
neither did I. I made that up just now.
Yeah, but that's the thing too, and this is a new rule that we need to make. You know, we talked about the how many feet away you are from a person dictates if you open the door or not, if you keep the door open, right? The new rule of the year, you can't be. The people in the thing say don't spoil it, don't release spoilers, and then like a week later they're like, oh yeah, it's been out long enough. You had your chance. Spoil. You gotta stop that. Or at least like blur something or say like make it so like it's so long that it's not going to cover that the bit of spoiled information is not going to be on your screen right away so you can deter. It's, you know what I mean? Like, come on. So I know of some cameos that were made and one of them is pretty awesome and I'm like, granted,
Berry.
No. You want to know who should I do what I'm?
No. If you don't want me, I'm always a big fan of saying, "Hey, spoiler alert! Fast forward 30 seconds. We have 30 seconds now to say what you want to say."
Yeah. All right. So fast forward 30 seconds from now, if you don't want it. Wesley Snipes shows up as Blade.
Oh my lord! I mean, that's pretty sick.
Fuck yeah, it is.
I mean, in terms of. I didn't set a timer, so let's just we'll cut it off right after I say, for them to be in a room and them to go like, you know who should show up? This guy, and that's one of the few times where I think the whole room would probably be, holy shit! All right,
well,
start writing.
And there's a history with that though too.
Itself.
There's a history with him and Ryan Reynolds.
Yeah.
So I don't know. It's. I don't think that's a big aspect of the movie, but it's like I would like to be like pleasantly surprised and be like, oh, yeah, that's awesome, you know, and then it would make me want to go back and look at those movies again or something like that, you know what I mean? But yeah,
pretty soon everything is going to be a big blob of the same universe, and it's going to be like, oh yeah, that's right, that's where we live.
I don't even know where do we
DC and Marvel won't cross paths, but you got it's like.
But 6,000 Spider-Men will.
Oh yeah. They're gonna all take them and Doctor Strange are gonna go and have an orgy universe where they just shoot webs at each other.
That's probably that's one of the universes. They're infinite, multiverse. You know.
I think I made a joke to Dree once that was about. He was telling me about a Spider-Woman comic strip where she gets pregnant or something, and I was like, what does that mean? She has like 1,000 babies, and then they all have spider powers.
That would be kind of funny.
That'd be pretty good.
Yeah. You know, that's definitely possible. Yeah, I don't know. I just this is my thought of it, and I can't contribute to anything. Much like the Olympic controversy, you know, I shouldn't complain because I'm not doing anything about it to change it. I'm not writing the next big script. I'm not pitching the next great pilot to the next great series that will equate to levels of Breaking Bad and Better Call Saul. I'm not doing any of that. I'm a mere consumer. I'm a mere person that's sitting on my ass, watching the television, playing the video games, or consuming the film. I really am not doing anything to change it. If anything, I'm contributing to what I'm complaining to about. You know what I mean?
Yeah. No, well, that's the thing. It's like, man, I'm out here, and one of the hardest things about putting pen to paper is going like, oh my God, what if this turns into the thing that I always rail against? What if you write something that turns out to be as bad as the things that you think that you're above, because you go like, nope, this is bad. No, this is stupid. And it's like, in reality, I have been trying to watch things in a way where it's like even the Olympics. I was like, there's sports that I don't really give a shit about, but I was watching quite a bit of them or whatever, and I was just like, these fucking people work their lives, their entire lives to get to this moment. Don't say that this sport is done. Don't say that this thing that pits countries against each other for gold, a useless fucking metal in metal form. It's useful in certain applications, but when you put it all around your neck, it means nothing. Also, all in the name of unifying the world, even though you're saying we need to battle against each other to do it, and you're better and you're worse. Don't call that stupid. Don't call these like because the individuals that are in these races and doing these things, even the losers, even this. I saw a video of the slowest Olympic swimming time, and it was a guy that like learned how to swim 8 months before the Olympics because they were trying to push his country into like there's like programs that try and get these lesser known countries into the Olympic Games in certain regards. And it was an African country, a poor African country, and like they taught this guy. He learned how to swim 8 months before. He only got like 3 to 4 hours a week in a community pool to learn how to swim. He'd never been in an Olympic race before. He'd never seen an Olympic-sized swimming pool before. And as he started his race, like apparently, like everybody else jumped early and got disqualified. So he swam the pool, the 200-meter by himself, just flailing like we do, like when we were learning how to swim, and he won his race, And it's like now this guy didn't train for that, but he was put on a world stage, and he didn't look pretty. He didn't make the actual Olympics, but he fucking finished, And there's something uplifting about that. There's something uplifting about all of the stories in the Olympics that I never thought about it this way before. But it's the same thing with I've been watching these like B movies where it's like these people are really trying. And when you think about actually trying to put together a shot, which I've been thinking of that more and more, how to put together shots and stories the way I want to. Yeah, sometimes it doesn't work out, but sometimes you just gotta applaud the effort because it's not easy to do. And now, when you're talking about Marvel cookie cutter bullshit, you're allowed to tear that down, in my opinion, because they're just throwing so much money at those movies to make them whatever they are, And it's like that to me is where you separate art or art from just it's a fucking money grab. You're advertising for you're putting a label on something and going just because it's called this means it's going to sell, and that's not okay. Now, what we're talking about, I did want to see that Deadpool seems to try and keep something alive that is entertaining more so. It's not just on some brand or whatever. I might be wrong about that. I know that the second movie wasn't, it was a lot of callbacks or whatever, but I always like the Deadpool character. So
yeah, it looks good.
That's my rant.
And from what I hear, it's nothing like that other stuff. So I've heard good things about it. So yeah, all good questions to ponder, all things to reflect on this week as you look at yourself in the mirror and say, what are you gonna do? How are you gonna become the next great big thing? Rob, what are you gonna do?
I'm gonna write drivel and call it gold.
Oh, okay.
That's how you become the next big thing. It's not through integrity. No, my friend, it's not through integrity.
Well, all right. You heard it here. It's not through integrity.
Although maybe I'll try and write that Calvin and Hobbes movie. I think that would be
good. That'd be great.
Be a tearjerker. Make you laugh, make you think, and make you cry. That's the Calvin and Hobbes movie in a nutshell.
There you go. I drank Sunken Paddle Ciderworks Heirloom Blend, unfiltered, contained sulfites, delicious. I liked it. The ingredients are simple: hard apple cider, apple juice, yeast, potassium, sorbate to maintain freshness, and sulfites. I said some of those words right.
Something got through. Yeah.
Delicious. Good stuff.
I'm gonna say. So the Cactus Eaters. I'm gonna call this kind of blah.
Okay.
when you really want, when you want to sit and try and taste the flavors that are in here, you can. But as you're just drinking it, and it's a 7% almost, so eventually it just kind of becomes a bitter. It does keep a sweetness in your mouth at the end, like a little bit on the tongue.
Mm-hmm.
But it's nothing. I don't think this is very special. This is not one that I would necessarily recommend. If you want a fruity beer, there's other ones to go with. Kudos to them for trying, because apricot and lemon zest and peach, those are weird flavors. And it might just be a specific palate that likes those flavors, and I'm not big. Those are not the ones I reach for. So, but for me, this one's going to be a pass in the future.
Follow us, subscribe to us, go to our Instagram, and click on our link tree. All our stuff is there. Buy a t-shirt, buy a hat, buy a sticker, buy a phone case, buy a pillow, buy a notebook, buy so many different things that you want and so many different designs. We appreciate it.
Should we try and get this special treat? Should we see if we can get a third review?
Yeah, go ahead. See what we can do.
All right, you just take the mic for a second while I go try and clear this.
So once again, Rob is getting up to exit the room, and we might get a special guest to give us a beer review of a third party beer review. And it's not guaranteed to work, but we're gonna find out in real time if it's going to happen. I've ran out of things to say, so we'll be back. We are in for a treat, says Rob.
Yeah, she's trying. She didn't take the beer out of the fridge and drink it yet, but she's trying it right now, so she's gonna come.
All right.
Give us her first thoughts.
You got to give like a marvelous introduction or
taste the Idaho in it.
What?
And taste the Oregon, Idaho citrus from the trees of Oregon.
The trees of Oregon?
Is it Idaho or Oregon?
Is she drinking that 10 up?
Oregon, Idaho.
What the hell what are you saying?
This is the 10. Can you come here? We're not recording the video. You don't have to. I'll turn it this way. Come and talk on the microphone.
So, Absolution, 10 up, juicy West Coast IPA. That's what the drink is?
Very Mario-y.
Is what?
Very Mario-y.
Yeah, the can looks pretty sweet.
Yeah, the can is sweet. No, that's Toad.
That's just the mushroom, isn't it? That's not Toad. That's just like
it's got the eyes on it.
Just a mushroom on the. If anything, it's Toad's head. Toad isn't a mushroom. Toad
Toad has been
He's wearing a turban. Something like that.
Not.
Yes, that's true. He's not a mushroom. He's wearing a turban, bro.
That's true. Holy cow, you're right, isn't it? That is true.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well,
see?
It might just be a bandage.
You got a big bump.
Because
Mario.
People jump on, in that universe, people like to jump on mushrooms.
In a murder attempt, really.
Yeah.
It's pretty messed up.
All you have to do is tell us, okay, do you like it or do you not like it? Huh? Feedback? I mean, she didn't have good feedback. No, she had a high pitch. Do you like the beer?
Yes, I like the beer. It's very citrusy. I like it. It's IPA.
Very citrusy, very IPA. Can't go wrong. That is her. I hope she came through on the microphone.
Kind of,
but she won't come any closer, and she won't let me turn the.
Why? What's so wrong? What do you tell her? What do you talk about? What do you say all the negative things about me to her, like, where she doesn't want to meet me like this? This is hurtful.
Look, because I'm afraid that when she meets you, she's gonna fall head over heels and move to Wisconsin for you.
Yeah,
she won't do it for me.
Okay. If anything, it will just solidify that she has the better half.
That she is the better half.
No,
yes.
that she has the better half. Like between you and I, you're the better.
That makes me the better half?
Absolutely.
Yeah, I can agree with that. Yeah, I'll agree with that. Oh, is that too quick? Should I have hesitated? Should I argue with you?
No, that's fine. I've I've accepted it. But anyways, all right.
Anyway, this is one step closer, to her being on microphone, and then maybe even on camera for you, not for our viewer or our listeners, because they don't get to see the camera feed. But
I know what she looks like. She follows us on socials.
are you stalking my girl's Insta?
I followed back, and I saw the picture. I saw the picture.
I'm just joking, just joshing.
Oh, geez, yeah. Speaking of Josh, I'm calling him back. He loves me more.
Oh yeah, your first co-host.
All right.